everyone. I am your host, Tasha Danielle. Welcome to Tasha's Journey. I'm in a different spot because I'm traveling today. So I feel like I hear a little bit of an echo. So I want to see how long I'm going to make it on my Wi Fi connection. And yeah, I'm just going to give y'all that a little bit of a warning right now. And I'm outside. So it's windy and there's cars driving by. So we gonna see how this work out. Hey Tasha, hey Tanya, thank y'all for joining. So if y'all see me cut in and out, I'll be back. And if it just becomes a little too much, if it's just too windy outside here in California, then I'm going to come back on later this week to talk about our topic, which is all around money scripts, like basically your money personality. But before I get into all of that, first, I gotta say, go Lions! We won. We are in the third round of the playoffs now. So I'm out here in San Francisco area, California, and we play them next week. So the irony of it all, but I wish I was there in Detroit to be downtown. I know it's crazy lit with everybody happy that we won. It was a good game too. So let me know if you watched the game in the comments, replay game. Let me know. I am from Metro game, and I'm laying up in the. I'm just happy we won. So I gotta start with that first and foremost. Yes, the Lions did it. Boop boop. So I can't wait to see what happens in the next game. Listen, if they go to the Super Bowl, listen, Detroit just gonna shut down. We're not gonna know how to act. I just want to put that out there. So if you're joining, welcome. Make sure you hit that like button. And if you are enjoying all this financial information that I'm sharing with you all, make sure you hit that share button and share it to your Facebook page. And share, something that you like about the life when you're sharing. Because sometimes when you just hear share, people just they scroll by it, they don't watch it. But if this podcast live, Journeys Live is helpful for you in your financial well-being and travel pursuits, be sure to hit that share and replay game too. What you enjoy most about watching my live, let me know in that comment section and make sure you hit that like button as well. And I want to know how y'all doing with the challenge that I set for everyone. I want to start a little bit in a different order from I usually do talk about the no spin challenge. I'm gonna get to that in a moment. But how are y'all doing with the goal to increase your credit score by 40 points by April 1st? How is that coming along? And if you are new here, I will share that link to that live where I broke down increase your credit score by 40 points by April 1st. Depending on when you're watching it, basically in 90 days, what steps you can do to increase your credit score. So 40 points in your credit score boost can be the difference in a lot of things, from the type of interest rate you're paying on things and so on and so forth. Let me know also if you can hear me okay, if there's any delay, because I'm looking at my Wi-Fi bars and it's at 1. So just let me know if you can hear me okay. People who are watching now live, let me know in the comments, please, because knowing that my Wi-Fi signal is weaker out here in California, which I was hoping for more sunshine when I was out here, but it's been rainy and gloomy. I'm out here celebrating a friend's birthday. We are enjoying ourselves so much. So just let me know if you have any problems or if there's any delay on your end. And I will switch and try to come back on from a different area. It's just hard because we having a real party out here in Cali. So there's a lot of things going on in the house. And the quiet spot is outside, either in the front or in the back. That's why I'm out here wrapped up in a blanket talking to y'all. Your upper payments don't come on. Okay, y'all can hear me because I'm seeing some comments come in. I don't have any. So you are focused, Tasha. You're focusing on utilization, getting it down. That's so good to hear. Everybody else, what are you doing with your 40 points? If you are in the excellent club, if you are in the 800 club, there's really, you can go to 850. But this is really if you are in the 600s, the lower 700s, and you want to get to that top tier of credit to get the best interest rate. If you're planning to buy a car soon, buy a home, you want to have that credit score high. And if it's not this year, but just in some time in the future, it's always good to have a higher credit score. It helps on insurance and so many things. But when I was talking about increasing your credit score by 40 points in 9 days, you have to start first with making sure you're looking at your credit report, right? Have you done that first? Not going off what you think you have, because you may think, oh, I know I have this credit card balance, I can pay now. No, pulling that credit report out and seeing where your utilization is at, meaning on your credit cards, if you have a $10,000 limit, and you are at an $8,000 spend, like your balance is $8,000, that is having a negative impact on your credit score. So different, like low-hanging fruit things like this. If you're just coming in, welcome. I'm going over our challenge. We had 3 goals to be working on to hit by April 1st. So I'm talking about the credit portion, increasing our credit score by 40 points. So thank you for sharing, Tasha. For me, I'm good on my credit. I'm not actively working towards improving my credit score. It's already in the excellent category. So I'm good on that portion, but I always like to share or recommend it as a goal for a lot of people, because their credit score usually is in the 6 to 100, sometimes 5, 7, and they're trying to get to that 800 club. The other challenge was the saving portion. So setting aside that time to go through your credit report is key to improve your credit score. But the third one we had was, I think maybe the second one, is your savings. So I was challenging people who are watching, can you get to $500 or $1,000 by April 1st? And when you break that down per week, what that amounted to get to $1,000 with saving $45 per week. If you can't afford to do that because you're like, I'm on pure survival mode, it ain't no credit card to work on, I need to increase my income. I hear you. I understand that. What can you cut to start saving something, even if it's $5 a week, right? So everyone should. I'm buffering over here, y'all. So I'm glad you are being mindful of your spend, paying off in full. But the saving thing is key. This is where most people struggle. So I created these goals around when I'm working with people one-on-one. What are they coming to me with? Credit is number one, improving their credit. And then they say, I want to save and invest. Save and invest. Save and invest are 2 different things. And so I'm challenging you first with saving $1,000 or $500. Or if you already have that, do you have 3 to 6 months of your expenses saved up? If you were to get fired today or tomorrow, how long could you survive? That's another way I phrase it when working with people. Because people are like, I don't really need to have savings. I have my credit cards for emergency. That's not the way to go. So replay gang, let me know how you're doing on that day. What did you commit to? If you didn't want to commit to $45 a week, $25 a week, did you commit to at least $5 a week? We at January 21st. We started this January 1st, and this is all about the psychology of money. I'm trying to get you guys to change your behavior before I get into the nitty gritty of like preparing a budget and all of that. So I had to go live on here. I already talked about that. I want to share a little bit how I'm doing where my money goes as it relates to the no spend. So as y'all can see in here, I am not at home. I'm in California right now, so I'm traveling. And I told you all one of my pain points when it comes to my finances, where I had a lot of spending going on, was me and traveling, meaning that I would buy something new. Like I want a new look for a trip. I want a certain look when I take my pictures, and my friends, they know I love to take some pictures. So I would buy an outfit or two when I'm traveling. So I'm in California. I did not buy anything for this trip. I had it in my closet. So I did a closet audit a long time ago. So I'm doing really good on my no spend challenge. I will tell y'all, I was tempted yesterday in Ulta. I was with friends, and they were getting some things that they needed, and then I'm like, oh, I like this lipstick color. I do need this different type of lipstick, but I didn't buy anything. I only bought things that I needed since I've been here. So, and that was food. So I am fasting right now with my church. So I'm on a limited diet. So I did need to go to the grocery store and get things I needed for me. So, but that's nothing I wouldn't do at home. I bought groceries. Um, and celebrating my friend's birthday, that was already budgeted for to spend a certain amount at dinner and things like that. So I'm doing pretty good, but I'm not gonna lie, it was a struggle yesterday. Being out shopping and being out with friends is like, ooh, I want this, but it's no spend. And the key thing is, I'm not going to like save this money that I'm not spending and spend it double in February or March. That's not the goal of the challenge. Is to spend less. So if you deleted the 5 apps, deleted Amazon, you deleted Fashion Nova or Temu, whatever your shopping device is, Walmart app, Target app, whatever it is off your phone, that was to help you spend less. So let me see. I'm glad to hear. Good job, with credit score going up, doing good on the savings. What about that no spend? So thank you for sharing, Diane. And no spend January is going good. I'm glad to hear it's going well. Some other people I've seen in the chat that popped in and say, hey, say hello, how are y'all doing? I know last week, Ruth, you was like, I'm struggling with Walmart. So how is good. I'm glad to hear that. So I'm glad this talking about this and coming live every Sunday is helping you hopefully move more towards your overall goal. So the topic for today is what's holding you back from um, hitting your financial goals. And I'm outside, so if y'all see me look away, it's because I'm being nosy, trying to see what's going on around me. But today is all about what's truly holding you back, right? So it goes back to self-discipline and procrastination. You know what you need to do, but you are not doing it. Everybody knows they need to save, but they never usually know how much should I be saving? Where should I start? Right? And I bring this up today because I want to talk about the psychology behind money that keeps people stuck. And I actually major in psychology and economics in college because they go together hand in hand. People were like, why are you? That's a weird double major combination. But it's really digging deep behind the behaviors on why people are not doing what they should do with their money. Right. So, hey, Tawana, thank you for joining. I'm glad everyone's doing good. Now, I want to see the no spend. What y'all doing with the money y'all not spending? Are y'all putting it in the savings account? I hope y'all are. So with Financial Guardian, so this is a nonprofit that I have, and Financial Guardian was birthed really out of me tutoring kids. I was a math tutor, and I wanted to work with kids about money because our money habits form when we are young. If you are a parent and you're not talking to your kids about money, even if you never have a conversation with your young 5-year-old or your teenager or your young adult, they are learning about money from what you do. Either they want to imitate what you're doing, or they like, I ain't gonna do what you doing. I'm gonna do something better, but I don't know what that is. So this is why it's so important to talk to your kids about money. And this is all gonna make sense in a moment. So Financial Guardian was birthed is a nonprofit I have going into classroom teaching kids about money because it's about looking at money from a holistic perspective. How is our mindset towards money? What are our beliefs behind money? Because our thoughts and our beliefs actually impact what we do with our money. And I even say with um, my 5-year-olds, like my kindergartners that I work with, they always say, "Oh, you should save your money." And I have it set up where they can buy things in the store. They earn money from me or an instructor teaching throughout the class, and at the end they can buy something. And then I'm always like, "Dude, you just said that we should save money, but yet you spending all the money you earn. Why is that?" So everyone knows what it sounds. They know how to tell you what you want to hear, but the action behind it is usually hard. So the money personality script is 4 categories. It's either you are money worshiper, meaning that you think that your I don't think that's what they're great. Typing too fast, but money worship. Any grammatical errors, have grace, y'all. I am trying to be consistent on vacation over here. If I ain't gonna lie, I was rushing to get some of the stuff done today. But money worship is believing that your money problems will be solved if you just earn more money. And I'm gonna get to the details of it in a minute. Money avoidance is you deep down you feel like money is bad, meaning that you think people being rich or having wealth is bad, and you are a better person because you are not buying expensive things, and you're not all about the high end stuff. So you are money avoidant, and you usually don't like to talk about money either. And then you have money status. This is people who really like the name brands. There's nothing wrong with liking the finer thing, but these people are going into debt to do it. And they know they are. They know they have credit card debt. They know they have credit cards maxed out. They know they take payday loans out to pay their mortgage or rent, but they're not stopping. They want the higher end things because they want the status behind it. And money vigilance is where people strive to be. They want to be responsible with their money. So I'm going to tell you tips depending on which category you're in on how to get better with your money based on your money personality type. So I want to start back up with um, money worship. I'm seeing some comments coming in. So okay, I'm good. I'm glad to see you are. Everything is going good, good, good. Thank y'all for sharing. And I'm glad to know it's not just about commenting, so I know y'all watching. I'm trying to make sure y'all can hear me okay, and then there's no lag or delay. But with money worship, I ain't gonna keep this up here. The money worship, this is where you feel like if you earn a little bit more, that all your money problems will be solved. And what I find these type of people who are doing money worship, they tend to not have a handle on how much things actually cost. So this is not showing. I'm showing that I'm spending. So if you're not seeing, if I'm not talking on your end or just I'm not spending anymore. When I say spending, I'm seeing like the wheel spin on my end. And so money worship is you may earn $20 an hour or $30 an hour, and you're like, man, once I make $60 an hour, if I made $100,000 a year, if I make six figures, I'm good. And one of my pet peeves is when people say that you want to make six figures. I'm like, okay, you want to make $100,000, $200,000, 300. What is it? Just six figures. That's a wide range or whatever. So this is because they're like, when I make six figures, I'm going to be good. And I'm like, what do you mean by you're going to be good? Where they'll say I'm going to be in a better financial position. I won't have anxiety or worry about money anymore because I'll be making so much more. But if you know anything about when you increase your salary, your lifestyle usually increases as well. Lifestyle creep comes into play, and you don't hit all the money markers that you were expecting to make. So one thing that I do with people who are money worshipers is that I want them to know the numbers on things. This is usually where they fall short. And you will be surprised of them not truly understand what their take-home pay is. This means that they may have a salary of $50,000 a year, but they don't even realize that they are contributing to their 401k, but they set it up when they first started working at the company and have no idea that they're maybe contributing like way more than they thought, less than they thought. They are not conscious of how much their health plans are in open enrollment, which just passed in November. But these people do not understand the dollar associated with things, and earning more is going to solve their problems is not true. So one of the things that I do when people have this complex about themselves is to find out how much their expenses are for the month, their actual living expenses. I'm not talking about how much money they're spending on clothes or shoes or anything like that, but truly what is their mortgage or rent every month. Usually people know their rent, they usually know their mortgage. What is your car payment a month? What is your light bill a month? What's your water? Like all these things, and write them down. and writing it down. And I'm not talking about an app on your phone and anything. I'm talking about sitting down and writing down what are your monthly expenses. If you don't can't say the number off the top of your head, that's usually a gap. And when I'm talking about writing down, putting the money towards it, groceries is one of those things. So I encourage you, if you are saying, if I just earn more money, I'll be good. I want you to write down the monthly expenses for yourself, in your household, I should say. Or if you're like, I know I ain't gonna do that. You already got me doing these 3 challenges. I'm looking through my credit report. I'm doing all these other things. Okay, if you're not gonna do that to figure out what your monthly expenses are and writing them down, I challenge you to figure out what is your number. So if you just earn more money and you will be good, what is that number? So if it's $125,000 a year, if it's $180,000 a year, what is the number? Like earning more money is so arbitrary because you're not even putting a number to it. You're not challenging yourself to figure out like what that number truly is. So that's one thing that I want to challenge you to do. Either or people who are just joining, welcome. Make sure you hit that like button for me. But make sure that if you know that you always, if I just earn more money, that if you were saying you just earn more money and that will solve all your problems, what's the salary you're chasing? If you don't want to write down your monthly expenses. And let me know if this is making sense to you in the chat. Because I want you to do a behavior that's going to change how you handle your money, right? And it's going to be different things I'm going to recommend based on people's money personalities or money scripts, right? So moving on from the money worshipers is going to be the people who are on the opposite end of the spectrum. Yeah, I'm a tiny, but you're not in the live. I got people coming through. Hey, Robbie. On while I'm doing my live. I told you I'm outside. So, um, okay. So going back to money avoiding people. Now actually I'm gonna skip down. I'm gonna do money status people. So these are people who see status, they see the value in name brand stuff, or not just clothing, but like high-end home appliances. They're a baker, and so they want the best of the best. It has to be this top of the line blender, whatever the case is, right? So this all about status of the name that they're buying for their home or even from a clothes perspective. So this is all about money status. For people like this, and I will say this, it's interesting when working with couples is because it's usually more often than not, there's always a money status person. And they are the person who has a money status issue, their partner is just like, know the issue, like, oh, you think labels matter, it doesn't matter. And that person may know that, but they can't tackle that reason why they need this stuff. They may say the quality is better. And again, I'm not saying there's anything wrong. Let me back up too. There's nothing wrong for wanting the finer things in life. The issue is when you have a negative net worth. You don't have emergency savings. You don't even know what a bridge account is. You don't know what's in your 401k. You don't have any investments. You don't have more than one stream of income. That's what I'm saying, where you're worshiping. I mean, not worshiping, you're all about the status symbols and stuff, and your net worth is negative because all you do is buy, 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 buy. And it's usually the higher end things because you want to have a perceived perception from everyone. My challenge is usually for that person to wear one less noticeable name brand like per week. So if everything has a name on it, just if they don't wear their favorite staple, how does that make them feel? Is one behavior because it's all about changing behaviors. And let me know as I'm talking through these different money scripts or personalities, like how you feel about this as well. Like if this is resonating with you, or you like, it's food for thought. But I challenge them to wear that favorite high status thing that they have with the logos on it, not carrying it. That's a simple thing to do. when you think about it, but sometimes it's hard for people. And I would say with me traveling the world, I chose to only travel with a carry on. So I had to just go with what made the most sense. And I will say I'm a watch person. I really like nice watches. And I'm like, I don't really need to have my whole watch collection out here with me traveling the world. I need to be low key as possible. And it was weird, like not having my favorite watch on or whatever. So I'm not gonna lie, act like, oh my God, I'm so perfect. I don't have any of these issues either. But I tend not to be a name person. I don't have to have like a luxury car or a foreign car or anything like that. Um, so it's not as a deep rooted thing for me. But also with people who have, if you're just coming in too, make sure you hit that like button. Um, I noticed that people who are obsessed with the name of things and they're saying it's quality, but it's when you dig deep, it's really not about the quality of it. It's just more the name because we know we have knockoffs of things as well that the quality does matter. But there are some dupes of things that don't have any name on it. It's just it's high, but you don't want that. I encourage them to look at their inner circle and what do they talk about. Like if your friend group is all about what you bought, what you're about to buy, or whatever, it may be time to think about incorporating other type of people into your friend group or who you associate with because you may be keeping up with people in your group. So this means that if you one of your friends gets a new car, you're like, ooh, I may want to get a new car. And you watching like, oh, this is just keeping up with the Joneses. Oh yes, that's the old saying. But if your circle is all about that and they're not on the path of you watching this live right now, trying to get better with your finances or whatever, and they're stuck on the money status thing, you have to do the work and figure out like when you start wearing that one name item and you start wearing name brand clothes, do you feel a shift? Do you feel embarrassed? How do you feel about this, right? So that's one of the things I typically um, challenge people with, like when they're working with me, and I figure out like what their money personality or money script is. Yes, thank you for joining H&D, and I cannot wait to be on with y'all next weekend. H&D, I'm going to be on talking more about 401k. That was such a well received live that I did last week. So I appreciate all the DMs. Like, cause I did hop on Instagram to check my DMs because when I'm doing the lives, I'm always like, you follow up, I think to H&D after they hit me up on my DMs, and other people would DM me too on the replay. So I will be joining their channel next Saturday. Yes, next Saturday, talking more about retirement, 401k investing. So thank you for joining. Hey Jacob, thank you for joining. Um, it makes money real and it can be slightly embarrassing too. So money status, I'm giving you if you identify as a money status person, I'm giving you your to do to try out for this week. The money worship people, you have your to do and you see how they're different, right? It could all boil down to, okay, you just need to do a budget. You need to save more. Okay, everyone knows that in theory, but I'm trying to get you to do this one task according to your money personality to see like where else you can go with this because it's not just about what you're bringing in and just like this. And then the money avoiding people, um, there's usually working with couples is usually typically is money avoiding and a money status person. Opposites attract for sure, and it's always hilarious because the money avoiding people they think that money is bad, like I mentioned before. And so, but they don't say that, right? They're not going to say, oh, okay, like I don't want to earn more money, but subconsciously they do it. And this can also be people who have a scarcity money mindset, which I used to have. So, money avoiding people tend to be one extreme to the other. They're usually about money status, meaning that they want to feel this worth because they grew up without having, they grew up with maybe being teased about not having name brand stuff. So, when out there grown, they like, oh, I'm going to do what I want my money and get status. And then you have the money avoiding people who are on the other spectrum with a scarcity mindset of feeling like there's never going to be enough money. So I'm going to work, 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 and I'm going to be frugal with my money. You will see with money avoiding people. And if they are, let's say that they have the scarcity mindset, right? So what they'll do is they'll do things like, oh, I don't buy expensive things. I buy things that are on sale. I buy things that are on clearance. I make sure that I'm using my coupons, and I'm good with, I'm real frugal, but you're buying a whole lot of stuff you don't need. And if you're identifying that the no spend challenge, even though you're not buying expensive things, you're buying a lot of things that add up to being a lot of expenses. You may feel like, oh, I'm better. And I'm saying better than because I'm thinking from a couple perspective, because it's usually a person that has money avoiding in dynamics. And well, I'm not buying all these tools, I'm not buying all this stuff at Home Depot, so I'm better. And it's like, well, okay, well, when we pull up what you're spending your money on, it's still a lot of money. It's just not the expense level as the other person, but it's still adding up. And usually it's the thing of like thinking money's bad or wealth can be bad from a standpoint of, rich people are evil. And subconsciously, you're doing things that keep you from hitting your money goals. So, going back to the no spend challenge, instead of just not spending money on things on Amazon stuff you know you don't need or whatever, that could go in your savings, and logically that's what you should be doing. But a money avoiding person, they are self sabotaging, and they may realize it, but it's not that bad because they're not blowing their money. They're not at the casino spending it all at once, but it's these little things that add up. And it's not money avoiding like you thinking of, oh, I don't want to talk about money at all. That could be a part of it, but it's usually what I'm talking about of that underlying feeling, the scarcity mindset that you'll never have enough. So you think there's a lack, or from the standpoint of I'm spending but not at a higher level. So with money avoidant people, um, is typically they know numbers, so they may have a budget, but they don't stick to their budget, right? And so they're overspending on all these things that seem like good deals or whatever. So for the money avoiding people, my task or your to do, thinking about for the week ahead, if this sounds like hitting home for you, is to really think about uh uh a higher. I'm sorry guys, like I said, I'm outside. I'm trying to stay focused, but it's hard sitting outside versus me being in my like little in-home setup that I have going on. But for the money avoidant people, my task or challenge for you this week is not about identifying the numbers to things or as far as your spend or not wearing a certain item. Is figuring out like what would make what's it a number, not a number, but what do you want, where do you want to go from an investment perspective. We talked about 401k last week, doing someone else to do from that live last week, because you see now for retirement you need to have a lump sum of money, because again you're money avoidant. You think that subconsciously you may not say it, but having a lot of money is ultimately bad, so you're doing self-sabotaging things, right? So looking at what's in your 401k or doing some work behind investments and wealth building, because you know what you should do with your money a little bit more than the other two, and you may feel proud about that, but there's underlying things that's not making you take that full step. And the last thing is money vigilant people, and they're responsible with money. They have more of a balance. They're not spending their money, because that's a problem too. You can't, you have a saver or spender. You don't want to not enjoy what you're working hard for, right? There needs to be somewhat of a balance of you living in the moment and thinking about the future. So I'm gonna see some of the comments I have. Okay, yeah, it was choppy. Yeah, sorry, y'all. Sorry. I may have to redo this one. So I think I'm for staying on. Yes, exactly, Jacob. And a lot of people don't really realize this until when we sitting down looking at your numbers, which I will in February, will be more looking at numbers. But again, this is all about behavior. Tasha, I'm not sure retirement. Oh, okay. I think I know where this is going to, because there's a delay on my end. I'm gonna talk about this too. And I definitely don't think if I said something that was choppy, I wasn't saying to put all your money in the 401k. That's definitely not what I'm saying. But I will be talking more about retirement and things like that on H&Z abroad, and I will be sharing on my YouTube channel. And if you're on my email news list, you'll get the email when I'm going live with them. Um, so let me go back. Tasha, let me know. I'm not sure what part that was commented on because there's a delay and it's choppy on my end. So because of that, I'm gonna hop off because of the connection I'm seeing is spinning for me. So I do apologize for that. I'm gonna rewatch it and see what didn't come through and where I'm gonna pick up at for next Sunday, because I will be on next Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But I am gonna say I'm proud of myself for going live on vacation. I really want to make sure I'm consistent with talking about money and travel, because it's not just about money. But next week I will say that I will be on with my friend Tanae. I met in, and so it's going to be a different conversation, not just talking about you getting your finances together. It hits on the part of, with me, when I'm sharing that I want to really relocate out the U.S. like partially or semi-permanently, especially when thinking about retiring early. Um, yeah, I'm on vacation right now. Uh, I'm in California. It's really windy out here. That's why I'm outside with a little blanket wrapped around me, so it's windy. It's not that Detroit cold right now, which I'm about to get back to reality in a few days. But Tanae will be on talking about her experience in Kenya. She was there for 6 months. I met her there, met in Kenya from a Facebook group. And I know that may sound a little Dateline mystery or scary, but a lot of my lives will talk about money, and I'll be bringing on people that I've met traveling around the world. And it's talking about like how far your dollar can go in other places. And that's not an answer for everyone to relocate. And I'm not suggesting that, but that's just one of the things that I have on my list. And I've met people who left the U.S. prior to have a better quality of life. So your point, Tasha, of like with inflation and different things, like they have pensions and it's just not going to get them to where they want to be. So yes, and we talked about that a little, the waiting period too. It's so key because the no spend challenge, like I was saying, y'all, we you realize like, okay, did I really need that or whatever? But I'm saying do not go and use that money spend double in February or March, right? So it's a waiting period. Like I said, I'm remodeling and there's stuff I'm having on my list. I'm like, can I find it at a lower cost? Like, or maybe it's another avenue while I'm waiting to buy these things, right? And I'm not saying to go in February. Let's add everything back and act like nothing happened. Hopefully, you're seeing something in your behaviors. Like, I really glad that Dee brought that up about having this waiting period, because she had mentioned before about wanting to do maybe buy an online course, but now waiting, not instantly buying, is like, okay, when you sit down and think about, do I really want to spend that amount of money? Am I really going to get that value out of it? Because you're in a don't spend challenge. So it's making you think about things a little bit more because you're trying to hit your goals, right? Every person's going to be here so quickly, right? And I'm going to have things set up on quarterly goals. But back to what I was saying, next week, today we'll be on live. We'll talk about the cost of living in Kenya. So we'll talk about our experience in Kenya. And y'all know I love Kenya. It has a little bit to do with it. So we'll be talking about, apartments, how much it costs, what it's like really living there, food quality, and just our overall experience of it all, right? So I'm ready to get off of here, but I thank y'all all so much for joining. Again, shout out to the Lions. And one thing I want to know, did for my people who are watching from Detroit, did y'all catch my boy way into the end zone and he tried to do the Blade Icewood, the money dance? Did y'all see that? Because my friend, we was hyped. Like, I know he did not get a touchdown in Detroit and try to do the Blade Ice Wood. If y'all know what I'm talking about, let me know. Replay game, let me know. We was not having it, and I'm so excited for us playing San Francisco next week. Y'all, look at the Lions make the Super Bowl. Like I said, Detroit gone. We ain't gonna know how to act. But anyway, I'll see y'all next week. Thank you so much for joining. Until next time, bye.